Discovering infidelity isn't just painful. Research reveals it can trigger trauma symptoms mirroring PTSD, intrusive thoughts, hyperarousal, a constant state of dread. While my husband was away, loneliness drove me to seek connection in the most unthinkable way. What followed involved our monkey, and it's a truth so bizarre and devastating it haunts me every single day. The silence in the house was the first thing that hit me after Mark left. He was gone for work, a long assignment, months stretching ahead like a barren desert. At first, the quiet felt peaceful. A break. But soon the silence grew heavy, pressing down on me. The loneliness started as a small ache, a background hum, but it grew louder each day, turning into a roar that filled every empty room. I felt adrift, completely sunk in isolation. Friends called, but conversations felt hollow. Hobbies I tried felt pointless. The void Mark left wasn't just physical, it was an emotional chasm, a deep craving for connection, for feeling seen, for the simple comfort of another presence. Mark and we weren't perfect before he left. There was a growing distance, a subtle communication breakdown. His calls from abroad became shorter, more focused on logistics than on us. I started to feel neglected, like an afterthought. My unmet needs for intimacy, for just talking about our day, felt like they were screaming inside me, but there was no one to hear. I felt unvalued, almost invisible. Was this the marriage I signed up for? The doubt began to eat at me. Then there was Coco, our little Capuchin monkey. Mark had insisted on getting him, a touch of the exotic, he'd said. With Mark gone, Coco became my shadow. My only real companions. I talked to him constantly, telling him my fears, my frustrations. He'd chatter back, groom my hair sometimes. It was interaction. It was something. In my deep loneliness, I started pouring all my need for affection onto him. He became the focus of my day, the only living thing that seemed to respond to my presence, the only creature that didn't represent abandonment. One night, it all felt particularly bleak. A storm raged outside, mirroring the tempest inside me. Mark hadn't called in days. The feeling of being utterly alone, rejected even, was crushing. The despair was so thick I could taste it. I felt trapped in that house, in that life, in that crushing silence. I remember looking at Coco, curled up near me, his dark eyes watching. And in that moment, something inside me just broke. The boundaries I thought were solid dissolved into mist. It's hard to explain the confusion, the sense of dissociation, like watching myself from outside my body. Fueled by a desperate, twisted need for connection, for intimacy of any kind, I crossed a line. A line so unthinkable, so horrifying that even now, the shame burns me from the inside out. I did something with Coco, something intimate, something that felt like a grotesque mockery of the affection I craved. It was an act of pure desperation, a shattering of everything decent within me. A profound betrayal, not just of Mark, but of myself, of basic decency. It wasn't physical infidelity in the usual sense, but it felt like cheating on my own soul. The second it was over, reality crashed back in. Revulsion. Self-disgust. What had I done? The guilt was immediate, suffocating. I felt worthless, damaged beyond repair. The secret landed on me like a physical weight. The house, my supposed safe haven, suddenly felt contaminated. Coco, my companion, became a living reminder of my lowest point, a symbol of my shame. I couldn't look at him without intrusive thoughts flooding my mind, replaying the horror. Every unexpected noise made me jump, hyperarousal, the constant fear of Mark somehow finding out, even though he was thousands of miles away. This trauma, self-inflicted, felt irreparable. Living with it became a form of chronic stress. Sleep offered little escape, often bringing nightmares. My anxiety soared. I felt estranged from myself, like a stranger in my own skin. The broken trust wasn't just with Mark, who remained oblivious. It was the trust I had in myself, now completely shattered. When Mark finally came home, the deception began. Pretending everything was fine, smiling, asking about his trip, while this monstrous secret festered inside me. Our interactions felt like a performance. The emotional distance between us was now a canyon, carved out by my actions and my dishonest silence. He'd sometimes mention Coco, seemed different around me, more hesitant. Each time my heart would pound with fear and fresh waves of guilt. The pain of what I did, born from loneliness and unmet needs, became a constant companion. It's an emotional wound that doesn't seem to heal. Research talks about the long-term psychological effects of infidelity, the anxiety, the depression, the potential PTSD. But does it capture this specific kind of shame? This toxic secret? How do you even begin to address the unresolved issues in a marriage when you're hiding something so fundamentally broken within yourself? The path forward feels impossibly foggy, overshadowed by this one destructive act born of isolation. What happens next is uncertain. The path to healing from such deep trauma and betrayal is complex, maybe even impossible while the secret remains. If you found this story thought-provoking, or if you're navigating your own difficult relationship challenges and secrets, please like, share, and subscribe for more stories that explore the complexities of the human heart.